Most people think power lives somewhere outside them, in words, rituals, or knowledge someone else possesses. But what if the true key has always been in your own hands? You've used them to build, comfort, and create, yet never realized they were quietly carrying a map, a set of hand codes left behind by ancient lineages that understood energy far beyond our modern logic. It sounds strange, almost forbidden, that something so ordinary could hold such hidden power. But look closely, every gesture you make, every touch you give, every movement you repeat unconsciously is a message written in an ancient energetic language. Your palms aren't just skin, they're sacred symbols, living circuits of creation itself. And the deeper truth? These ancient symbols were never meant to stay secret. They were meant to be activated. Once you learn to read and use them, you realize your hands were never tools, they're interfaces of energy. And when that realization hits, it changes everything you thought you knew about reality. Most people go through life believing their hands are just tools, made to grab, build, and hold. But in truth, the hands are far more than physical instruments, they're living extensions of consciousness. Every movement, every small gesture, sends signals beyond what the eyes can see. The ancient ones understood that your hands are antennas, transmitters of hidden power that shape reality itself. Each finger corresponds to an energetic frequency: fire, air, water, earth, and ether. When someone instinctively presses their palms together in prayer or meditation, they're not just being symbolic. They're aligning elements inside themselves, completing an invisible circuit that stabilizes the flow of life force. In that moment, the body becomes a temple and the hands the doorway. This is how hand codes begin to awaken, through awareness, not complexity. Think about it, you've probably felt warmth or tingling in your palms during moments of strong emotion or focus. That's not coincidence, it's energy trying to communicate. When you comfort someone, you're transmitting more than empathy, you're channeling an ancient symbol of safety and connection. Every handshake, every touch, carries invisible data. Your hands have always been messengers between the seen and the unseen. And once you start to see your hands this way, the world begins to look different. Suddenly, gestures aren't random, they're intentional spells in motion. Every wave, every clasp, every movement has a frequency, and you're the one broadcasting it. The question is, what message are you sending through your hands right now? Because soon, you'll discover that every ancient culture knew exactly what those gestures meant, and why they guarded their wisdom so fiercely. Across centuries and continents, one mystery quietly links civilizations that never met: the use of sacred hand symbols. From the mudras of India to the hieroglyphic postures of ancient Egypt, these gestures weren't ornamental, they were active technologies of the soul. Each movement carried a vibration, a key that unlocked parts of consciousness hidden beneath the surface. Those who mastered these hand codes didn't just pray, they commanded energy. Take the Abhya Mudra, for example, the open palm gesture that means, "Fear not." In truth, it's more than a symbol of reassurance. When performed with awareness, it shifts the energy field around you, radiating calm and protection. Or the Egyptian depictions of deities holding their hands in precise angles, they weren't posing, they were signaling. These ancient symbols functioned like passwords to higher frequencies, a kind of energetic language only initiates could read. The tragedy is that much of this wisdom was lost, hidden away by secrecy, conquest, and time. But fragments still survive, encoded in art, dance, and ritual. Think of how every culture instinctively uses hands in ceremonies, from blessings to vows, from healing to farewells. It's as if our DNA remembers what our minds forgot. Your body already knows how to speak this ancient dialect of power, it's just waiting for you to listen. Once you start rediscovering this language, your hands become storytellers again, fluent in energy, intention, and presence. You begin to realize that every motion can either scatter your power or focus it. And that's where the real magic begins, when you learn that your hands aren't just reflecting energy, they're recording it, carrying the memory of every gesture you've ever made. Your hands remember things your mind has long forgotten. Within their subtle currents lies the memory of generations, gestures passed down through lineage, encoded in muscle and motion. When a grandmother teaches a child how to knead dough or light a candle, she's not just teaching technique, she's transferring energy. Every action becomes a bridge between eras. The body learns through repetition, but the soul learns through transmission, and your hands are the messengers. Scientists might call it epigenetic memory, but the ancients already understood this truth. They saw that every palm line and fingerprint was a unique signature of spirit, a map of destiny carved before birth. Certain points on the hands were believed to be activation sites, places where ancestral frequencies could awaken when touched, pressed, or traced with intention. When you hold something sacred, a relic, a hand, a symbol, your own codes vibrate in response. That's energy remembering itself. Think about how the act of touch carries far more than warmth. When you comfort someone, your hands are telling their energy field, you're not alone. When you write, create, or heal, they're transferring fragments of your essence into the world. That's why objects can hold energy, and why touch can heal or harm depending on intention. Your hands are living archives of every emotion you've ever released or absorbed, they've been storing your energetic story all along. So, the next time you look at your palms, don't just see skin and lines, see history. Feel the pulse of those who came before you, the silent chorus guiding your movements. Because those same ancient symbols and hand codes that once shaped civilizations aren't lost, they're sleeping right there in your hands, waiting for the right kind of attention to awaken them again. Modern science is slowly catching up to what mystics knew all along: the hands aren't just flesh and bone, they're living power stations. Each palm contains thousands of nerve endings, meridians, and energy points connected to major organs and chakras. When activated, these channels generate measurable bioelectric fields that extend beyond the skin. That's why you can sometimes feel someone's presence before they even touch you, it's your hidden power sensing theirs. Practices like Reiki, Qigong, and pranic healing are built entirely around this principle. Practitioners learn to direct life force, or qi, through their hands to restore balance in the body. But even without formal training, anyone can feel this energy. Try holding your palms a few inches apart and slowly moving them closer. That subtle magnetic resistance between them. That's your own frequency field responding, proof that energy flows wherever awareness is placed. And here's where things get fascinating: your hands amplify energy when aligned with the heart. That's why acts of love, creation, or prayer always feel warmer through the palms. The hands become extensions of the heart's electromagnetic field, turning intention into tangible influence. Every gesture, a caress, a wave, a blessing, becomes a coded transmission of what's inside you. The more coherence between heart and hands, the stronger the signal. So, if energy truly follows awareness, imagine what happens when your gestures become intentional, when you decide what frequency you're sending. The line between science and spirituality starts to blur, doesn't it? Because the next step isn't just understanding this flow, it's learning how to activate it consciously, turning those quiet hand codes into living instruments of transformation. The activation begins with something deceptively simple: awareness. Most people use their hands automatically, but few ever see them. Try sitting quietly and observing your palms for a few minutes. Notice the warmth, the tiny movements, the pulsing beneath your skin. That's energy responding to your attention. Presence alone starts to awaken the hidden power within the hands, as if the body recognizes, you're finally listening. Once awareness is anchored, movement becomes your language. Ancient cultures use specific gestures, like Anjali Mudra, where palms meet at the heart, or Abhya Mudra, the raised open hand, to channel certain frequencies. You can begin the same way: pair each gesture with deep, slow breaths. Inhale light into your palms, exhale through your fingertips. This creates a loop: breath feeds energy, energy feeds awareness. Over time, your hands stop being passive tools and start becoming conscious transmitters. You can also trace symbols or spirals over your palms, slowly, intentionally. Imagine you're drawing on invisible ink that only energy can read. Some prefer to visualize golden light swirling from the center outward, others chant softly while doing so. Both methods awaken those ancient hand codes, stirring the memory buried in your energetic DNA. The key is consistency. A few minutes daily is enough to rewire your energetic sensitivity. And when that subtle vibration starts to build, that warmth, that hum, don't rush it. Let your hands teach you their language. Each pulse is communication, each tingling a syllable of your deeper self. Soon, your hands won't just feel alive, they'll start guiding you, in healing, creation, and even intuition. And once you reach that stage, something extraordinary happens. Your life itself starts to respond to the energy you project through your hands. Once your hands awaken, everyday life feels completely different. You begin to sense energy in ways that words can't describe, like walking into a room and instantly feeling its atmosphere shift. You'll notice how certain people make your palms tingle, how certain choices feel heavy or light through your hands. That's because your perception expands beyond logic. Your body starts reading vibrations before your mind does. This is what it means to embody hidden power, not in theory, but in practice. Gestures become sacred again. A handshake isn't just a greeting anymore, it's an exchange of frequency. A blessing isn't just symbolic, it's transmission. You begin to understand why healers throughout history worked through touch. The hands are perfect messengers between spirit and matter. When aligned with intention, even simple actions, washing, cooking, writing, become rituals of energy movement. Everything you touch carries a trace of your consciousness. And that's where responsibility comes in. With activated hands, you can't stay unaware of your impact. You realize that creation, healing, and destruction all flow through the same channels. The difference lies in your awareness. A kind touch can heal, but a careless one can drain. That's why ancient initiates trained for years before using their full energetic capacity. Power without presence becomes chaos. The hands amplify whatever you hold inside. So, the true mastery isn't in learning to use the power, it's in learning to become it. To live in a state where energy moves through you effortlessly, guided by heart and clarity. When that happens, every gesture becomes a creative act, every movement an extension of divine will. You don't just live with activated hands, you live as a conduit between heaven and earth. And when you reach that point, your transformation is only just beginning. You've just walked through a world hidden in plain sight, the world inside your own hands. These aren't just ideas to think about, they're living practices waiting to be experienced. Every time you bring awareness to your palms, trace a symbol, or offer a gesture with intention, you're activating a code that's been asleep for lifetimes. The power isn't somewhere far away, it's literally in your grasp. So let me ask you, what would change in your life if every handshake, every touch, every movement became a conscious transmission of who you truly are? How would your relationships shift? Your health? Your creativity? What would it mean for you to carry hidden power not as a concept but as a daily reality? If this message resonated with you, don't just let it fade, apply it. Start small, pick one gesture from today's teaching, practice it, and see how it transforms your day. Then come back and share your experience in the comments. Your story might awaken someone else. And if you're ready to keep unlocking deeper levels of this knowledge, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This way, you won't just be watching videos, you'll be joining a journey of rediscovering the codes your soul has been holding all along.